When we look at how the season will be remembered for Arsenal, does it matter if they win the Carabao Cup or not? Or is everything focused on winning either the Premier League or the Champions League for them?
I think if you'd have asked the manager at the start of the season to list in order which trophy he would like and put the most onus on winning, I think it would be the Premier League. And the reason I say that is because they've been so close but not managed to get over that last hurdle. Great opportunity this year to do it. 6 points clear at the top of the league. It's in their hands again. But winning the Carabao Cup after getting beat in the semi-finals last season by Newcastle, look, if they can put a bit of silverware in March in that cabinet, that might give Mikel Arteta and his Arsenal team the final kick they need to go and do what they haven't done since Arsene Wenger was there, which is win the Premier League. So, yeah, I think it's a real positive if they were to go and win it. Would it have been the first one that you wanted to win at the start of the season? Probably not. But what a great opportunity to have a day out. But they've got to overcome Chelsea first, which is never easy.
I guess if it's one of those where if they get to Wembley and they win it and they have those celebrations on the pitch, that Mikel Arteta's message can be, think how great this will feel if it's actually the Premier League.
Totally agree with you. But from a player's perspective, if I put that hat on, it would give them huge confidence going into what we always know is a really tough part of the season towards the end of the Premier League. So they're in a great position, first of all, in the league, but they'll want to put in a good performance. They'll want to get a positive result to take into the second leg. But so will Chelsea. The EFL Cup is a great cup, the League Cup, for any team. You saw what it did for Newcastle last season. It got them into the Champions League by winning it. So, look, it's a great opportunity for either team to pick up some silverware.
One player who'll be hoping to impress Rosigne is Benoit Badiashile. The French centre-back is fit again after a series of injuries.
Are you excited?
Yeah, of course, yeah, really excited.
What does that, mean for you as a player? Perhaps not you, but some of the other players. Is it a fresh start?
Yeah, can say this, I think. But let's not forget that Maresca was a good coach as well. So, yeah, it's really good to have the new coach with us, and we'll try to do our best.
Let's talk about your start of the season personally. Has that been frustrating, especially the early part because of injuries?
Yeah, I had a lot of injury, but yeah, it's the past now. I'll try to stay fit until the end of the season. That's it.
Are they kind of managing your playing time?
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, I need to be careful and manage my time.
One player who'll be hoping to impress Rosigne is Benoit Badiashile. The French centre-back is fit again after a series of injuries.
Are you excited?
Yeah, of course, yeah, really excited.
What does that, mean for you as a player? Perhaps not you, but some of the other players. Is it a fresh start?
Yeah, can say this, I think. But let's not forget that Maresca was a good coach as well. So, yeah, it's really good to have the new coach with us, and we'll try to do our best.
Let's talk about your start of the season personally. Has that been frustrating, especially the early part because of injuries?
Yeah, I had a lot of injury, but yeah, it's the past now. I'll try to stay fit until the end of the season. That's it.
Are they kind of managing your playing time?
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, I need to be careful and manage my time.
At the office,
Charlton, they're not in a good place right now.
No.
Even in the league that they're at. But when you look at the Blue Coat project, a big criticism of Enzo Maresca was he didn't trust enough of the players that they brought in, right? So I look at a player like Jarell Hato, a player who was supposed to play more under Maresca, and Maresca didn't trust him. So for him to put him in and Hato to get a blinder of a finish, that's good. Ticking off all the boxes. And of course, Gittins having a better performance that we've seen in a long time. Esteval comes in off the bench. So I just thought it was saying yes to the Blue Coat project, doing what upper management wants, but also when you're a new manager coming in, and I remember this as a player, if I wasn't playing, these are your moments to shine and say, hey, I'm available, I want to be in the plans. And you never know when you're going to need some of these players. I look at a player like Andre Santos, who could be in this conversation against Arsenal.
Well, at a stroke, he's got the, if you like, it's like the people only get invited to the evening to a wedding. I call them the unnecessaries, OK? he's got them all on side straight away because he's given them a chance. Now, it might only be the Cup, but they've gone out and shown the new manager what they can do. So I liked it.
Yeah, we could see the trust that he had, and he was asked about it as well. What do your players need to do for you to gain their trust? And he said, I already trust them. They show me that in training. So that's good to hear from his side of things. Looking at the Arsenal side of things now, though, in that specifically the striker position, Kai Havertz is back. He subbed in over the weekend in Arsenal's FA Cup win. How much pressure does this maybe put on Viktor Gyökeres now moving forward, Jeff?
Well, he's already under massive pressure, Gyökeres. If he does change Gyökeres, I'd be surprised if he went Havertz. He might be introduced earlier in the game if it's not going well, but I would have thought he'd go for Jesus ahead of Havertz. So I wouldn't be surprised if he started with him. I equally wouldn't be surprised if he started with him because he's not going to die on a hill for him, but he went out and bought him. He's his guy. He's desperate for him to succeed. But right now, Viktor Gyökeres is having a dreadful time. It could not go any worse for him right now. Having said that, the beauty of Arsenal is they've got options. They've got options. But big call as to who starts up top.
How much time do you give it before we potentially start seeing Kai Havertz starting in that position? 5 months without him, injured opening weekend. Now he's back. Obviously, they have to get him ready and fit for a full 90, but do you see him maybe taking that starting role sometime soon?
I think it'd probably be in the next month or so. And I think what Jeff said is really smart because we know that he's had injury issues. He's been injury prone. And for the lack of quality Viktor Gyökeres has shown, he's a bit of a battering ram. He's very durable, and he does occupy spaces. But that's not good enough for Arsenal in the final third. I back Gabriel Jesus to start, mainly because when you look at how Arsenal plays, he links up play better. He brings in the rest of his teammates much better. And I think the time is now. And he also looks bulkier, Jeff, than I've ever seen him. But as we look at the lineups for how both teams are going to line up in this first leg of the Carabao Cup, I'm really intrigued to see how both teams adapt. And we start with the Chelsea conversation. No Moises Caicedo again. And just about every time Chelsea play Arsenal, it seems like Moises Caicedo is missing in action because of disciplinary issues. So the question becomes, who fills in? I'm saying Reece James pops up in midfield. And Reece James, when we were talking about who's the better midfielder, Jeff, Declan Rice or Moises Caicedo, Reece James was the answer. But now I want to see from Reece James to the midfield. My next question, if you're Rosinha, is where do you put Cole Palmer? We have him listed as an attacking midfielder, but Cole Palmer could easily slot to right wing. You could interchange Esteval in there. You could move Enzo Fernandez, bring in Andre Santos. So there are some questions Rosinha needs to answer to get the best out of Chelsea.
I like that Chelsea setup. I mean, it could be Jorgensen in goal. Could be. That's another choice that Liam's got to make. James absolutely stole the show in the Premier League game at the Bridge. He was the best midfield player by a million miles on the pitch. He was fantastic. I think you're pretty spot on there, Mikey. I can't see them going with anything different. I think it's harder, Claudia, to predict the Arsenal lineup. Much harder.
Yeah.
In particular, here and here at full back. That's the biggest problem. Because in Miles Lewis-Skelly, he came on the day, he's been out of the team for a little while. He looks so rusty. He looks so far off the pace. I don't think they can risk him at all. So then, now Ben White, he's okay at the minute. He's fit, he can play. So you move Timber to here. Possibility of Hincapie being fit, a possibility, which would solve that conundrum. The rest of it, as you would expect, that's the big question mark. Because the problem for Gyökeres as well is his movement is so off, it's so out of tune. The amount of times they've whipped balls in and you need a striker to either gamble or go in there, and he's not there. He's hanging back. It's really hard to find any positives about any aspects of his play whatsoever.